just trying to survive and learn to love along the way. By Foreplay on AO3. Episode 89, Chapter 89, of Fights and Drugs. Help! There's a fight! Eijirou follows Fat Gum and Sun Eater as they run to the commotion. He doesn't have to do any work. He can only watch in awe as a senpai takes care of the gang criminals within seconds of getting to the scene. Eijirou assists in restraining the criminals. He's not really disappointed that he didn't help take them down. This is a lot more excitement than he expected on his first patrol. He's just making his way back to Sun Eater when Fat Gum yells out, trying to get them down. Eijirou hardens and turns to the crowd just in time for the gun to go off. Really, it's not that loud as he thought it would be. Maybe it's just the distance, but something about the gun seems different than the ones he's encountered before. Too late. He sees where it's aimed. He runs for Sun Eater, but only people with a quirk like Ida's could make it there faster than a bullet. His heart breaks a little when he sees his senpai drops. Eijirou places himself in front of Sun Eater, facing the crowd. He won't let anything else happen to his senpai. He'll protect him. Eijirou will take down this villain. He puts himself in front of Sun Eater just in time. Another bullet ricochets harmlessly off his forehead. Where was the villain even aiming? That wouldn't have hit his senpai, even if he wasn't standing there. No matter, the second shot gave Eijirou what he needed to locate the shooter. You're mine. The villain looks shocked as Eijirou runs towards him instead of maintaining his position. He trusts Fat Gum to make sure Sun Eater is okay. The hero will take care of his friend, and hopefully come after Eijirou. He can't wait for the hero to go after this guy. He's easy to keep up with. Aizawa Sensei's rigorous training ensures Eijirou doesn't even run out of breath as he catches the guy. The villain corners him in an alley. The man activates his quirk and aims a punch at Eijirou, but the blades simply bounce off his hardening. He takes him down with his own punch. He's not expecting the man to start crying. Eijirou doesn't feel much sympathy for him. The man shot his senpai and endangered a whole lot of people. He seems out of fighting spirit though, so he helps him up and prepares to restrain him. He should have tied him up while he was on the ground. As soon as the villain's steady, he drops a syringe from his sleeve to his hand. Eijirou reactivates his quirk in anticipation, but instead of attacking him, the man uses the weapon on himself. What did you just do? He backs away a few steps, but not fast enough. Metal blades shoot from his body, and Eijirou recognizes it as the man's quirk. It wasn't this strong before though, because now it actually hurts. The force of it throws him back, and Eijirou somehow lands in a squat in front of bystanders. Get back! They should be running already. Some of them stand there recording, while others seem frozen in fear. He has to protect them. Now there is nothing stopping me from freeing my brother. Eijirou has to contain this guy as soon as possible. If he gets to the main street, who knows what kind of destruction the man would cause. And all the people out there are at huge risk. The man attacks again, and this time it cuts through his hardening. What kind of drug is this? It has to be some sort of power-enhancing one. He hasn't heard of any in Japan though, so hopefully it's pretty new and not very good. The force of the blade knocks him on his back this time, and Eijirou scrambles to his feet. He could really use Fat Gum right now. But he can't always rely on people. This is just something he'll have to deal with himself. Eijirou has just the move for it. He's been working on it in training. It's not perfect yet, and he could only last half a minute with it at this point, but he needs to do something. He pulls it out just in time. Eijirou hardens his body as much as possible, pulling out more layers to his quirk than he ever thought possible. The blades bounce off his body once more. He's unbreakable. Eijirou runs forward, snapping through the blades as he goes, and once again knocks the villain down. The man flies back from the force of the blow, and Eijirou's quirk falls. His limit's reached. He made it just in time. He thinks the man is done, but he still keeps a safe distance. The villain looks as exhausted as Eijirou feels, but he's also desperate. But the man just lays there. Eijirou approaches cautiously. He just gets closer. The man starts to stir up. He's crying again. And that distracts him enough that Eijirou doesn't notice his escape plan until he puts it into action. The villain uses his quirk to launch him past Eijirou, knocking him over as he goes. Eijirou sits up, just in time to see Fat Gum barrel into the alley. He catches the man in his fat, and within seconds, it's over. He stares in awe at his mentor, and the bystanders break out in cheers. He doesn't blame them. Eijirou wants to cheer for the hero too. Except, the cheers are for him? They're yelling that he'll make a great hero, and Eijirou can't keep the smile off his face as he thanks them and stumbles towards Fat Gum. But then he remembers Tamajiki. Is Sun Eater okay? The last image of a senpai is him slumped on the ground after being shot. He's fine, but we need to get him to the hospital for some tests. Whatever that bullet was, it took away his quirk. Eijirou nearly stops walking, but he's following Fat Gum back to his senpai, so he doesn't. His quirk is gone. Is it permanent? We're not sure. That's why we're getting it tested. He's not going to bleed out or anything, but I'd like to get him checked out as soon as possible. You as well. Eijirou frowns and looks down at himself. More of his cuts seem pretty shallow, save for the few on his torso. Even then, they're not bleeding too much. He places a hand on one of his deeper wounds and winces at the pain. He stands by Fat as he drops the villain off with the police. He follows him to the waiting ambulance. Tamaki-senpai sits inside, a paramedic holding some gauze to his arm. Fat Gum ushers Eijirou inside, but doesn't climb in himself. I'll see you guys there. I just have to finish up with the police. Stay together. The hero shuts the door, and there's a lurch as the ambulance takes off. Red Riot, you okay? Eijirou just nods at his senpai, keeping his arms where it is. They end up at the hospital he's never been to. Fat must have called ahead, because a team of nurses are ready for them when they get there. He follows close behind the nurses that escort Tamaki-senpai for his tests. You can't go any further. A hand on his chest stops him. A kind-looking nurse keeps him from following through the door. But we're supposed to stay together. He's well aware of how whiny he sounds. Unless you're getting tests done, you can't go past this point. You should head back and check out, okay? Sorry, kid. Eijirou frowns, but nods in understanding. He doesn't want to make their job any harder, so Eijirou moves a few feet back and waits until the nurse leaves to sit on the floor. He'll get checked over once he knows Tamajiki-senpai is okay. Fat Gum told them to stay together, so he's gonna stay as close as allowed. Okay, nothing too big. It's Tamajiki who got hit. I think that's what happened the first time too. I can't remember who got hit. But I think it was both of them got hit, which is why I got confused on who got hit and stuff. So chapter 90 is of interrogations and yet another hospital. We know what the hospital is. Summary: Izuku gets to the hospital and learns what happened to Kirishima's patrol. On Kirishima's patrol, my bad. But no, yeah. Are we gonna get Eri soon? What is chapter 91 called? Of journals and quirks. It's Monday, which means more time spent at Night Eye's agency. Okay, no, not yet. I want Eri. I want her. I need her. I need her to be added to the family. I need the found family, please. Please. It is a need, not a... No, it is... Yeah, no. It's a need, not a want. It's both a want and a need. I want it and need it. Alright? It is... I need it. If I do not have this, I will die. Yep, I will die tomorrow if I don't have it. I'm joking, I'm not gonna die. But, no, yeah, it's just, dude, just, God. Just God. Ave Maria. Sorry. So I'm gonna do the outro now. I'm gonna do As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.